Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, as we continue with the showcase of the independents, day 1, January 1 was GCW, day 2 was World Series Wrestling, day 3, here we are, January 3rd, it is going to be the Wrestling Revolver. Now, the Wrestling Revolver is out of Iowa. It is Sammy Callahan's company. In 2023, there was 14 shows, 117 matches. The breakdown is 81 men's, 21 women, and 15 intergender. The Revolver champion is Jake Christ. He's 200 plus days in. The Pro Wrestling Revolver Remix champion is Alex Shelley, 417 days in. He is also, or was also, the Prestige Wrestling champion. So that sometimes was defended, both titles were defended. There's actually been a war between Warrior Wrestling, or Revolver Wrestling, and Prestige Wrestling, where there's kind of been invasions and stuff. So I really look forward to that story angle continuing in 2024. And then the Pro Wrestling Revolver tag titles go to Red, Alex Colon, and Ricky Shane Page. They've had those titles 87 plus days. So we are going to do the top 23 matches of 2023 for the Wrestling Revolver. You can find their shows on Thriller TV, part of the Thriller Plus. Same way Game Changer Wrestling, same way with World Series Wrestling, same way with Warrior Wrestling, some other stuff as well. So it's definitely a bang for your buck and a lot of great pro wrestling. All right, so number 23 comes from the November 16th show. Revolver Unreal. It was a men's tag match. It was the Switchblades, which is John Moxley and Sammy Callahan, going against the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. The Switchblades, John Moxley and Sammy Callahan got the victory. I gave it 3.5. Number 22 comes from on April 6th, Revolver Thursday. It was for the Pro Wrestling Revolver Remix Championship. It was champion Alex Shelley versus Jake Christ. Alex Shelley getting the victory, retaining his title. I gave that 3.5. Number 21 comes from Texas Toasted on July 8th for the Pro Wrestling Revolver Remix Championship. It was champion Alex Shelley versus Zachary Wentz. Alex Shelley getting the victory, retaining his title. I gave that 3.5. Number 20 comes from the season finale on December 2nd. It was the Pro Wrestling Revolver Tag Team Championships. It was champions Red, Alex Colon, Ricky Shane Page. Now this was actually a 6-man tag match, so they added Steve Macklin, and they went up against the Second Gear Crew, which is one called Manners, Manswarner, and Matthew Justice. There's actually several where the tag titles were defended in a 6-man tag match, and the tag team of Red, Alex Colon, Ricky Shane Page, and Steve Macklin beat Second Gear Crew. I gave that 3.5 as well. Number 19 on the list comes from Redemption on October 8th for the Revolver Championship. Champion Jake Christ versus Ortiz. Jake Christ retained his title. I give that match 3.5. Number 18 comes from Heat 'em Up on August 3rd. We had a lucha street fight between Gringo Loco and Kazuchika Takeshita from AEW. Takeshita got the victory there. I ended up giving it 3.5. Number 17 on the list comes from Dip on March 4th. It was Ninja Mac and Johnny Revolver. Yes, John Morrison, John Hennigan, Johnny Revolver, Johnny Down Under, Johnny TV, Johnny Game Changer. Basically, it's Johnny and whatever company he's in. Johnny Revolver got the victory there over Ninja Mac in 3.5 star. Number 16 was for the Revolver Championship from Drip on March 4th. In a street fight, champion Steve Macklin versus former Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion Rich Swann. Steve Macklin retained his title, 3.5 star. Number 15 came from Cage of Horrors 2 on July 1st for the Revolver Championship. Champion Jake Christ versus Kevin Blackwood. I actually thought Kevin Blackwood was going to win this match at one point during the match. His striking is second to none. But Jake Christ was able to overcome it and win the match. I gave it 3.5. Number 14 is, like I said earlier, about the dual titles. So this was from Revolver, a night at the Moxbury on February 2nd. We had the Pro Wrestling Revolver Remix Championship and the Prestige Championship, both held by Alex Shelley. Both were on the line in a Falls Count Anywhere match. It was Falls Count Anywhere Super Kick match. Alex Shelley versus Red Swan. Alex Shelley getting the victory. I ended up giving that one 3 3/4 star. Next on the list, number 13, was actually one of my favorite matches. Revolver Unreal on November 16th. It was an intergender match. It was Jacob Fatu versus Masha Slamovich. When Masha Slamovich is put into matches like this, it is unreal how good she really is. We all know how great Jacob Fatu is. He's an Uso. But yeah, Masha Slamovich, she is second to none on what she can do. She can go out there and beat up Deonna Purrazzo. She can go out there and beat up Jacob Fatu. Unfortunately, Jacob did get the victory here. Not really unfortunate, but for Masha's sake, Jacob Fatu get the victory. I give it 3 3/4 star. Number 12 on the list comes from Revolver Unreal. It was Speedball Mike Bailey versus Brian Keith. This is one of those matches, Styles McFights kind of deal. You got the striking ability of Mike Bailey. You got just the brawl style of Brian Keith. Speedball got the victory. I ended up giving it 3 3/4. Also from Revolver Unreal on March 16th, number 11 on the list. Just your standard Lucha Libre match. Gringo Loco and Rey Harris. Gringo Loco getting the victory. I gave that 3 3/4 as well. Next on the list, number 9, comes from the season finale on December 2nd. Masuka Mochizuki versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Mochizuki got the victory. I'm not saying that right. 3 3/4 star. Great match. Number 8 on the list also comes from the season finale, December 2nd. We had the grizzled young veterans. We had, James Drake and Zach Gibson back on the indies, back doing what they do best, going against the Rascals, Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz. Liverpool's number 1, James Drake. They got the victory, 3 3/4. I love the fact that they're back. The Grizzled Young Veterans has always been one of my favorite tag teams. Number 7 on the list comes from Mayhem for All on May 6th. It was the Pro Wrestling Revolver Tag Team titles on the line. Once again, in the 6-man version, we had champions the Rascals teaming with Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz going against Bullet Club. Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and David Finlay, the leader of Bullet Club. The Rascals with Myron Reed got the victory, 3 3/4 star. Number 6 comes from Wrestling Revolver Drip on March 4th, also for the PWR Pro Wrestling Revolver Tag Team titles, also in a triple threat match. This one was the Bullet Club, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, going up against, it was a triple threat match, going up against the Rascals, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and then the second gear crew, Mance Warner and Matthew Justice. The Rascals becoming tag team champions, 3 3/4 star. Number 5 on the list comes from Cage of Horrors 2 on July 1st. It was the Pro Wrestling Revolver Tag Team titles on the line in a Cage of Horrors 6-man match. So this is the titles were defended as a 6-man. So we had the Rascals, Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz going up against second gear crew of one called Manders, Mance Warner, Matthew Justice. Second gear crew getting the victory there. 4-star match. Cage of Horrors, which was epically awesome. Next up, number 4 comes from Revolver Drip on March 4th. We had Jonathan Gresham versus Kushida. Kushida getting the victory there. I gave that 4-star as well. Number 3 comes from Revolver in the Ring of Destiny on June 17th. It was an 8-man tag. We had John Moxley teaming up with the second gear crew, one called Manders, Mance Warner, and Matthew Justice, going up against Ricky Shane Page and the Rascals, Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz. That 8-man tag with the team of second gear crew and John Moxley winning. I gave it 4-star. Number 2 on the list comes from Cage of Horrors 2 from July 1st. It was Roderick Strong, Roddy, going against Speedball Mike Bailey. 4-star match. This match was epically awesome as well. And then the number one match from Wrestling Revolver 2023 was Revolver a Night at the Moxbury on February 2nd. 6-man tag, no disqualification. The Rascals, Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz going up against, pull this up, the Second Gear Crew, One Called Manders, Mance Warner, and Matthew Justice. The Rascals got the victory. I gave it 4 1/4. It was just one of those 6-man tags. It just kept going and just brawls, and yeah, no disqualification, and they got no disqualification out of their system on that one. But that is the Pro Wrestling Revolver 2023 Best 23 Matches. Stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show, as each and every day this month we count down the showcase of the independents. We'll profile a different independent company. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show, and don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports content.